If you're a nurse or in the healthcare industry, you're probably tired of 12-hour shifts, and we want to show you a better way, which is starting your own independent living facility. My name is Derrick Forston, and I'm your new big brother, and I'm super excited that you guys are here. We got a lot of information to give out today. We have a lot of announcements to make, and of course,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to teach and give some game like usual. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, and you happen to already be in the healthcare industry, this is for you. We also have a big event coming up March the 28th, where it's the ILF Anywhere tour, where we're going to show you guys exactly how we do it. But also a part of this tour is the 10 VIP people that purchase that ticket. We're going to walk them through an actual running, operating, independent living facility. So one more time, if you're in the healthcare industry, you love God, love people, and love real estate, God has blessed you today, because I'm going to reveal some information that's going to change your life, especially for the people that are like really wanting to get away from the bedside. Now, as I'm getting ready to have my wife introduce herself, I want you to go ahead and just be interactive already. Put in the chat if you are in the healthcare industry and you're kind of ready to get away from that.
Yeah.
Put a number one in the chat. Shay, tell the people who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. So my name is Shanya Shea Forston, better known as Shay, and I am the owner and well, not owner. I'm the founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, a local 501c3 nonprofit organization that utilizes the ILF model to house women that have been through all sort of disparities. We are able to see so many lives change utilizing the ILF model within a nonprofit. It has become a source of income, a primary source of income, which also helps make a significant impact on my 990s, which is my tax filing documents that I do annually. And it also gives donors and people that are interested in donating to a cause to see that we have a viable source of income that drives our nonprofit, and we're not solely focused on grants and donations. So we're showing them that we know how to sustain without needing the help, and that makes us a more viable option for another organization to pour into. Like prime example, big shout out again to our annual partners, First Horizons Bank. The Angela Denise Foundation truly adores and appreciates you all. Got an email that we were selected for another grant this year for them. I'm not going to spill the beans on how much. I'm going to go through the process, and when they distribute those funds, I will let you all know. But I know the amount, but I'm not going to share the amount until it's in hand. But again, First Horizons Bank has been an annual partner for, oh my goodness, for the past 4 years, and they have helped us really be able to provide housing for people that don't have any funding. So prime example, the funds that come in will be the funds that manage my charity bed. So I always have a charity bed in my ILF that if you don't have a dime, you can stay there for a specific set amount of time and your fees be paid for because of these grants that come in from other organizations and organization partners. So Derrick, back to you. That's a little bit about me.
Good stuff. So, guys, go ahead and put in the chat where you guys are located, where you're from. Shay and I are in the Orlando, Florida area.
Correct.
Right. And as you just heard her say, she does this from a nonprofit standpoint. I do it from a for-profit. So my program is called Second Chance. And as I'm always telling you guys, to be a walking billboard. So I'm always wearing some kind of apparel that's one of my businesses. And today it just happens to be Second Chance Housing. So that's what I named my program. But put in the chat where you guys located, city and state. And also let me know in the chat if you're one of the nurses or healthcare providers that we've been kind of talking about lately. So I want to make this announcement right now. If you've been following our social media lately, you've kind of been noticed a little bit of change in our verbiage, right? For as long as I've been teaching this, I've always kind of opened this up to the world, anybody that want to do it. And it's kind of still like that. But in our messaging, you're going to hear us reaching out a lot more to nurses, LPNs, CNAs, or people that are already in healthcare.
In the healthcare field.
So that's the drive now, so that when you hear me say that, that don't mean that if you're a school teacher and you want to do this, I won't teach you. That's not true. It's just in our messaging, we're getting more scripted and we're niching down, because we're also noticing that a lot of nurses, LPNs, CNAs are signing up for our services. So we're now catering that messaging to those group of people. But as I've always said, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is for you. It's just that you're going to hear us saying a lot more lately. If you're a nurse that loves God, if you're in healthcare that loves God and love people, but you tired of these 12-hour shifts, I'm your new big brother.
Yeah.
So one more time, I used to be a social worker many years ago, begging God to change my life, just like most of y'all. And I was wanting more. Somebody text in the chat, more. Because you're working a job right now and you're thinking, man, is it more to life than this? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And when I found out, man, that we could combine real estate and social services together, to me, like, that was the true light bulb that came on. I was like, wow, like I can literally do God's will, help people, be respected by the community that I'm doing it in, but also make enough money to feed my family, Miss Rhonda. And that's what this is really all about, guys. And again, man, I done tried a lot of stuff, sharing. I own a few different businesses, but none of them trumps this one in terms of being able to do God's will. This is an assignment from God that we're doing, and that's why I think it's blessed, right? But you're also helping mankind, right? And if you love real estate, that's the icing on the cake. That's why I call this that triple threat: love God, love people, love real estate. They're all in it together, and we call it a ministry. And some of y'all thought you had to be a pastor or a bishop, and that's simply not true. So today's title just says, if you're doing this, please stop.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about a couple things. I'm going to make some announcements today, right? But I want to also give some game like I always do. And then I'm going to probably leave y'all with what I'm going to call 7 lessons for 2026 for us to keep it moving. Now, the story is going to be inspired by Noah's Ark, the story from the Bible. And I did this last year, and I'm actually going to do this every year. So I'm going to bring that back. And it's the 7 steps or the keys that keep it moving this year, right? So I'm going to end the room with that. But one more time, man, if you're new to us, also type in the chat the word new, and also let us know where you guys are tuning in from. One more time, I'm Derrick Forston. I'm your new big brother. And I said it already, but to make a long story short, God just showed me somebody that was doing this the wrong way, y'all.
Yeah.
I saw a lady housing people in rats and roaches, and I just simply said, why not me? So for my new family that just joined us, I want to just bring up something really quickly. I won't spend a lot of time here, but I love to show people where the story came from. So that's me as a social worker at that job for 9 years. And this is me, again, begging God to change my life. So I listed a few credentials, but none of this means nothing as long as, again, if you love God and love people and love real estate. I just happen to have a degree in human services. I just happen to be a part of multiple advisory boards for mental health and social services. I just happen to be the founder of Second Chance Housing. I just happen to teach this all over the world now in 41 states.
Yep.
But never mind that, when I saw a lady housing people in rats and roaches and filth and in grime, and when I knew people wouldn't believe me when I told this story or when I began to tell it, I took pictures of a lot of this stuff. So I saw a lady making $41,000 a month housing people in these conditions. So put a number 2 if you can see my pictures on the screen, because I'm not super techie.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure that y'all can see these pictures. Guys, this is what I saw. And when I said, man, how can I get in this and change the way homeless people are being viewed, but also change the way they live in? Was that a dream of y'all's? Like, did you all dream of this too? Like, because most of us, when we think of a program like this, we think of a group home. Because I thought of the same thing, but I found out through this lady that was doing it the wrong way, Miss Rhonda. She was housing people in rats and roaches, and she didn't even call it nothing. She said, Derrick, I just rent rooms to people. Really? Because I just thought you had to have a license. I thought you had to own the property. But one thing that's different from us, y'all, and we're not going to do it this way, we're going to treat people with love and dignity.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And we also going to do it the right way, especially when you're making the money. How can you make $41,000 a month and house people in roaches and in rats?
Yeah.
And I often tell people that if this don't break your heart, man, you on the wrong YouTube channel. Because I saw a lady, again, having people sleep on the kitchen floor in front of the kitchen stove. And when I saw this as a social worker, I said, Derrick, man, you kind of a part of this problem. I said, Shay, I got to get out of here.
Exactly.
And I'll admit, it took me 2 years and a long time, a few months, right? I lost 40 pounds trying to figure this out because nobody would teach it to me. And I made a promise to God that was very simple. And I said, God, if you allow me to get in this, I said, if it changed my life. And if y'all listen at me almost giving God an ultimatum, who I think I am. But guys, I'm just being honest with y'all. Like I said, God, if you let me get this, because nobody won't teach it. But God, if you, your Holy Spirit, to guide me through this process. Now he just said, Derrick, yup, I teach you, and you ain't gonna make no mistakes, and you're gonna be wow. God is so genius, y'all, that sometimes when we going through stuff, guys, I went through a bunch of stuff. The Channel 8 News, a $40,000 lawsuit, embarrassment to my family. But God used that bad stuff, and he used it to guide how this thing would be taught now all over the world.
Yeah.
So now we got it trademarked. We trademarked independent living facility, which is an environment where adults, not your teenagers, not the lady with 3 kids, but an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight, which is like a group home or an ALF. So if you're listening real good this morning and taking notes, this is the cheat code to getting into real estate and helping people and it not be a group home.
Right.
A group home has a lot of red tape, a lot of licensures to jump through, and a lot of certifications, and it takes some people years to get open their first facility.
And even years to fill. Like we know someone right now actually had a very deep conversation with the Dawsons this week, and actually yesterday, and they were just talking about some of the hurdles and stuff that they've had to jump through. And there's a lot of organizations that have multiple licensed homes, and they're run amok, and it's just, you know, they're not getting the attention on their home as, you know, those that have the, I'm going to say, the connections. And people don't realize that it's a lot of favoritism in those places. And even if those places are run like crap holes, they're not, you know, they're not being held accountable. So you've got to be very careful and mindful of that when you're entering into a space, that your integrity needs to be A1, like from start to finish. And then allow God to open doors for you. So they were talking about just some of the hurdles with client placement, obtaining good clients. You know, they were on that the list of, you know, the initial
license model, correct?
Yeah. So they are licensed. And because of their not newness now, because they've been in it for several years, but because of, you know, the way this market is, it was hard for them to break through and get connected with someone that would actually provide residents or, you know, place residents within their licensed home. So that was something that they faced, and that lasted for about 7 to 8 months. So think of it as this: you have a property, you're unable to kind of, you know, you've bought this property, you've put all of the things in it that need to go in it. You spent thousands, I mean, close to, I'm sure close to hundreds of thousands of dollars, because they purchased the property for one, and then they had to implement all of the things that were necessary for them to get the licensing done. And that took we know, because we were a part of that journey with them, that took them over 2.5+ years to get that stuff done. So, and then on top of that, now you're in a holding pattern because you have, you know, you're waiting for other people to enter into or connect with you to place your people. Yep. So just be mindful of that and do your research on the front side of it, so that you're getting quality residents and you're not just accepting anyone, because that can be a true hindrance.
Absolutely. So like we even stated, like the Dawsons run something that's called APD, Agency for Persons with Disabilities. So very similar to a group home where it's got to be licensed and staff.
Correct.
Guys, our ILFs don't require staff because the people that we serve are completely independent.
Yeah.
So when people say, well, Derrick, what does it look like? So I want to show you guys again some pictures of what they look like. So some of you guys think of a big box building with 50 units on it, right? But it's not. And I'll admit, guys, I'm not super picky on what the outside looks like. A lot of people get super bougie, and so Derrick should be a 2-bed, 3-bed, 4-bed, 6-bed. We don't get picky on that, guys. The smallest ILF to date is a 1-1.
Yeah.
Right. Shay started with the 2-2. So we tell people to start anywhere in terms of, because you're the answer to the guy that's sleeping on the street. And like, he don't care how many bedrooms you got.
Right.
This is a 2-bed, 1-bath right here. Shay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And as long as you have that the dollars make sense. You don't want to get a 2-2 and it's so priced so high that there's no skin in the game or there's no profit margins. So you've got to be mindful of that as well. So you have to make sure that your math is mathing, as the young folks say. So make sure that you're doing the math, you're counting the cost, right? This is something that we tell everybody. Pay attention to the numbers. You have to make sure that the numbers make sense. And also make sure that you keep in mind that the goal is not to always rent. The goal is to establish the rentals so that you can get and position yourself to purchase your own asset. And that's what we're going to be showing on March the 28th if you purchase the VIP ticket to the ILF Anywhere here in Orlando, Florida. So if you're located anywhere within Central Florida and you want to come down and spend a Saturday with Derrick and I, where we're going to teach you the game on starting your independent living facility, getting it open, how to get your phone to ring, for one, and how to make these relationships in the community. You don't want to miss it. You can text the word learn to 407-326-0086. Remember, there are limited VIP tickets. We are only taking 10 people to do a walkthrough of the ILF that we've purchased. We've got several rentals, but this is the one that we want you to see. We're going to open your eyes to how did we get to this place of purchasing this home, of renovating this home, of, now being able to consolidate out of three rentals into the one property that we own. So think about that. I had 3 rentals that I was able to consolidate, the 2-2, and then I had the 3-2 and another 3-2 that we were able to merge into one home. And now I'm still making the same money because the overhead for me is a lot less, because I'm not paying an inflated rent by a landlord. But now I am paying the mortgage on that property with a lot more skin in the game. So I just wanted to introduce y'all to that model, and so that you know that the end goal is not to always lease. Yes, you can continue to lease because you can lease quickly, but the ultimate goal, again, is to purchase your own asset. There's a lot more tax benefits in you owning the asset, my loves. Just know that, okay? There's a lot more tax benefits. If not, you end up having to pay a lot more back in taxes at the end of the year or quarterly, however you choose to pay your taxes back. So just know that. And that's what we're going to be sharing with you on March the 28th in person here in Orlando, Florida. So you definitely don't want to miss out. Get your tickets. You can visit ilfconsulting.org, or you can text the word learn, and we'll put it in the chat for you all on TikTok, so we don't get booted off like we have been every week, because we keep putting that number out there. So I'll have Derrick put that in the chat for y'all. And excuse my attire today, okay? I had to find a hoodie, y'all. Forgive me. So TikTok can actually see a little bit more than y'all can, and y'all don't want to. But no, I'm still in clothes. Just know that. But it's just a little.
What do you mean? So you make
no. TikTok can see my.
You just got on some burgundy sweatpants.
I got on burgundy sweatpants.
You made it sound like you wasn't decent.
No, I have on burgundy sweatpants, and it looks a little funny because
they gonna get us kicked off of YouTube.
No, stop it. Stop it. Yeah. So just know that the whole goal of this is not to just show you the ILF, but how you can use the ILF to grow, scale, and now build a real estate portfolio. And that is something that you want to keep in mind as well as you're entering into this space, because one, it gives you a lot more opportunity to do other things with your housing. Okay, you can now not bend some rules, but incorporate new rules for your ILF when you own the asset. There are certain things that you can do in that asset because you own it, you oversee it, and so forth and so on. So Derrick, back to you.
And you don't have to ask people for permission, right?
Yeah.
95% of us that do this, we have to go and ask for permission to rent this house right here to run my program.
Correct.
So back to my pictures, as I was saying, like, we are not so caught up on what the outside looks like. This is a big old mansion right here. This is a 2-bed, 1-bath. Here is that huge one, 7-bed, I think 4.5 bathrooms. So this is a nice bougie one. Now, what I will say about this, the bigger the house, the more people you can help.
Correct.
The more income you make.
Correct.
So I love to tell people my favorite house Do y'all want to hear what my favorite is? Two of y'all text in the chat. Derrick, what's your favorite? Because I got them all from the little ones to the big ones. Right. But if two people say, Derrick, what is your favorite? I'm going to tell y'all. Here go another one that's a 3-bed, 2-bath. This is one of the ones a lot of y'all get at first.
Correct.
But if two people text in the chat, Derrick, which one is your favorite?
They're asking what's your favorite.
I'm going to share that.
Yeah.
Because to me, here it is. It's the 4-bed, 2-bath flat.
Yes.
And Jermaine know me so good, he put it in the chat already. Guys, I got some little ones. I got some big old ones because I'm from the country, so big old mean a big old house. But guys, my favorite is that 4-bed, 2-bath.
So explain why.
I love to. It's more manageable. And that's the point where you start to see your profit. You go get a 2-bed, 1-bath. Okay. You know, you're getting started. You get that 3-bed, 2-bath, you may see a little profit.
Right.
And it's going to mean a little bit different for everybody according to where you live in your zip code and how much it costs. But everybody, when they get that 4-2 under my coaching, that's the one that you really can see the profit because it's more bedrooms.
You can see larger profit margins. Put it that way.
The 4-bed, 2-bath is usually 8 people that we're going to take from homeless to hopeful. Because remember, we're putting 2 people per room. So in this 4-bed, 2-bath, the inside looks like this. That were Marcus and Jerome going to be in that one room. Tyrone and Jose going to be in the other room. Does that make sense, everybody? So let me show you something else, though, right? Same thing. But right here is my favorite way to run my 4-2. Watch this. Really slowly, because I want you to catch this. Most of y'all to be most profitable and to help the most people, I want you to do 8 people. Don't do what I'm getting ready to tell you until you get a bunch of houses.
Right, yeah.
Because when you first get into this, you're going to spend a bunch of money before you make some. Just like any business. You got to dish out money before you make some. That's why I also think God respects this business so much. You prepare a place for people.
Before they even come
from
in.
homeless to homeless before they ever give you a dime.
Yeah.
That's why when I'm doing this, I say, God, you see what I'm doing. I'm spending money on these people I don't even know yet because you told me the poor and needy will always be amongst us. Watch this, Jermaine. My favorite way to run the 4-2, though, is not 8 people, really. And the math has to make sense.
Right.
I got a 4-2 in Orlando, Florida right now, y'all, for $1,800.
His math is amazing. Like, I would love that.
And this is one of my greatest landlords out of all my slumlords. So, Mr. B, if you listening, shout out to you, big bro.
You are a huge blessing.
Like, he's the best landlord I've ever had in this business. And let me just tell you this as a side note, and I'll come back to the story. Most of y'all landlords going to be slumlords. They ain't going to want to fix nothing. They're going to hardly cooperate. But on the first of the month, they're going to say, Jermaine, you got that money?
Where's my rent?
Katara Johnson, you sent that check yet?
Run me my money.
That's what they really care about more than anything else. But watch this. My favorite model with that 4-2, I'm going to do 2 rooms just like what you see on that screen. It's going to be 2 people that got their own private room in a house that look like this. That's that 4-bed, 2-bath.
And let me tell you this, Derrick, and this is why I tell people all the time, right? You want to mitigate or minimize the amount of attitudes and personalities. And that's the blessing of being able to do that. And I tell people this all the time. When you own the asset, 9 times out of 10, the mortgage will be less than what you would pay in a traditional rental. So now if you own the asset, you can kind of switch up how you want to do things. Like, for instance, I own a 5-3. The property that I own is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. And I can get fancy when I want to. Y'all heard me talk since last year, about a year and a half, that I had mostly all private rooms, right? Well, guess what? Those individuals that required the private room moved out. So guess what I'm doing now? Switching up the model.
Putting it back to the 2.
Right? I can now switch back up that model and increase because I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to increase the number of beds because there's things that I want to do as the home owner to the home to better the home. I want to buy new windows, right? I want to do certain things aesthetically to keep up the property. And believe me, this is not a bad looking property, y'all. We already put 70 odd plus thousands of dollars into this property when we did the renovation, taking it from a 4-3 to a 5-3. So these are the things that you can do and kind of finagle when you own the asset. So just know, and even with a rental, right? But because of the cost, the overhead cost is going to be so different that you're going to be able to kind of manipulate what you do a little bit more in the part.
And what I would like to add too is that this model allows flexibility. So on 100%. The same lines of it. So back to that point I was saying, when I get a 4-bed, 2-bath, not especially if my numbers are good. Guys, if I get a 4-2 in Orlando, Florida for $1,800, let's go. Give me all the ones you have. Because watch this. Pricing. 2 rooms, I'm doing like this.
Yeah.
So that means my total number, if you've been following me, can somebody put the total number of people of what I just explained that I like in a 4-2? And I'm going to give you the but before. Remember, I told all of y'all should be doing 8 people with that 4-bed, 2-bath.
Correct.
But if your number's real good, and when you get that call from that military veteran that says, Derrick, I don't want to share no room. Bro, I ain't shared a room since I was 16 years old. What I look like sharing a room, Derrick, and I'm 54 years old.
Right.
Where do we put that guy? So if 2 people can put in the chat, Derrick, when you just explained, this is the total number you really want. Because I just told you 2 rooms I want that look like this. That's 4 people. Yeah. The other 2 rooms I want 1 and 1. So my favorite model today in that 4-2 is 6 people. Because for me, that private room going anywhere from $9 to $950.
Yeah.
And my bed start at $740, but we usually get $800 per shared room.
Right. Yeah.
Guys, that's a lot of money, and I'm still helping a bunch of people. That's why, again, this to me is one of the biggest and best real estate strategies that exist. This involves the love of God, helping people in real estate. And if you a nurse, a LP and CNA, and you got this job that's not appreciating you right now, you already understand the love for people and helping people.
Correct.
Why not add the real estate play to it? That's why we're going so hard now with these nurses and anybody that's in the healthcare industry.
Yeah,
because you guys already get it, the need to help people. You put that real estate on it, it's like putting gasoline and fire together. Game over. And then these are called independent living facilities, not group homes, because the people that we serve, they're independent.
Yeah.
Which means to me, they cook their own bologna sandwich. They take their own medication without you being a nurse.
Yeah.
Or LPN. That's the cool part. Even though you're a nurse, I don't need that skill set for you to give them meds. And then the last one, we ain't driving them around in no 15-passenger van like the Dawsons do.
Yeah,
that boy went about a transit 15-passenger van because he got to take them everywhere.
But the powerful thing about it is that, like, the way they're able to charge is different.
Yeah.
No, so there's
absolutely.
No, I know.
Just wanted to show that
but it's different
because there's a lot of new people that's joining us and they don't know that.
Yeah, because even
so
the
I don't want you to think that the group home and the ILF are the same. They're completely different in terms of rules.
Because even the conversation I had with them last night, because you weren't near me, but I was talking with the Dawsons last night, like their insurances. Oh my God. Like they told me what they're paying for insurance. And even for the vehicles, like he's trying to convert all of the vehicles under the commercial insurance. And that premium, Derrick, is close to $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month. So you've got to be mindful. Like, again, we're not knocking the licensed housing structure, but you've got to know before you go. Right?
Because
know before you go.
That they started the ILF model first.
Correct. And they used the ILF.
Of these, and then they leveraged that, made a bunch of money, still got them, and then they went licensed. So watch this. I am not the guy that's going to tell you, don't get no licensed facility. The devil is a liar. If that's on your heart, go ahead. Yeah. We just love the route the Dawsons took. They came into this, got our coaching, got 3 ILFs, made good money. Then went licensed. And so if you want it, consider that route.
So listen to this too, because this is something that you didn't state. They use the ILF funds to fund their APD home, their licensed home. And in that time frame of them getting that licensed home up and running, remember what I said, they were able to float the money from their ILFs to help get that stuff all situated. Outside of that, they were also able to purchase the home and consolidate. So they consolidated ILFs and now moved all of the residents that they had, because the 3-bedroom, they ended up converting the garage into another unit. So it's like a what they call it, anyway, it's like an addition. And they've made that a 1-1. So now they've got
Like
two
ADU?
individual. Yes, they were able to convert that into an ADU with a restroom and a little mini kitchenette. So now that is like a 1-1. And because it was a 3-car garage, it made it even better. It was a huge garage. So it is insulated, it's zoned, it's all of that stuff that needed to be done is done. But look at the leverage that they utilized from the rental perspective. They used the ILF model. They've leveraged the ILF model. They've purchased an asset. They've purchased multiple assets, because they were also able to purchase the APD home and get all of that stuff functioning and ready through the ILF model. So we tell people, don't just land at ILF. Let it be the springboard for you to do so many other things in business, because it's going to, one, free up your time. It's going to free up your time and give you opportunities to start other businesses. This should not be a babysitting service, folks. If you are running ILFs and it is a babysitting service, you have the wrong population in your ILF. You are not being coached appropriately. So you need to get a consultant, one that really knows what they're doing. And then you also want to make sure, again, that you are explaining what this housing model is appropriately when you're having conversations with case managers, social workers, healthcare organization, nonprofit organizations, whoever you're going to be partnering with when it comes to filling these beds. Because I'm telling you, Derrick, we posted on our social media, and actually we're going to post on the Married to the Mission channel what our Friday turned into.
Yeah.
Neither one of us had a schedule. We were able to just spend the day together, have fun, and record footage for our other channel. And that's because of the freedom, the freedom that this allows you. I had one client to go see, and Derrick went with me, and that's a tattoo parlor. If you're in Orlando, check out Art Never Dies. They're awesome. I'll let y'all see one of my cover-ups they did. It's amazing job, amazing work. But that was my client that we had to go run and see. I had to go drop off some stuff for Digital Flow Solutions for them, because they were having an event. So like that was my day. And that took me all of 5 minutes, if that. And the only reason it took me 5 minutes is because someone was getting pierced, and the person that I needed to speak to was the one doing the piercing, right? Like that was it. And then we just went and hung out. Now, just know that, again, the passion that we have affords us the opportunity to go and hang out with our residents, to spend more time at the houses. And it's not because we have to. It's because we can, and we get to do that. They love our presence. They love to hang out. They want to go and do certain things. And if we're available, I have a frog in my throat. You hear it? And if we're available, we go and do things with them. So just be mindful of this, that these are adults. They know how to live. Most of them will have jobs. Some of them will maybe homebodies, but you don't have to be the oversight commissioner and commander if you are doing this right. So if you do this the right way, if you learn how to assess the appropriate way, you will bring in better people, a better quality resident in your ILF. Derrick, back to you.
Let's take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on, family? Please make sure that you watch our webinar, which is the first step to getting started. So just text the phrase "more info," MOREINFO, to the phone number 407-326-0086. Don't type it in the chat. Don't put it below. Text it to that phone number. That way you get that free webinar, but also it leads to a discovery call with me and my team to see how we can get you started. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is it. Show me anything else where you can make such an impact in your community, serve God, but also make a bunch of money doing it. We don't hide that. We want to make a lot of money doing what this is so that we can extend our hand in the community and continue to be the answer to affordable housing. Text "more info" to 407 326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success. Let's get back to the show.
Hey everybody, my name is Jermaine. I've been with Derrick and Shay for about 4 months now. I got my first property within a month and a half or so of being under their coaching. I have a 6-bedroom house. I got all the rooms filled already. I'm charging $800 a month. You guys do the math on that. Derrick and Shay don't like to talk about the money, but me, I'm a numbers guy. But the coaching is fantastic. Like, you will not lose. You will not lose. Please make the decision. Getting this coaching, whether it's the DIY or the 101 coaching. If you can do it with the DIY without talking to Derrick every day, then go for it. But if you can do it and you need somebody to hold your hand, you need to call Derrick whenever you need him, then I suggest you get the 101 coaching. It's been the best decision of my life, man. I'm telling you. Like, get with it, and get ready to fire your boss, because it's going to happen. Thank y'all. Peace.
All right,
Guess who's back?
We are back. For being part of the live broadcast, Don't Wait to Be Great. I'm your new big brother. So just in case, if you just joined us, all we're discussing is how you can leave your job this year to start something that God has probably already called you to. Yeah. We call them ILFs. That is just simply an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So put in the chat if you're new to us. Also put city and state, because again, if you're a nurse, healthcare provider, LPN, CNA, and you want something more out of life just in going to that 8-hour, 12-hour shift, I'm your new big brother, and I'm going to show you how to walk off your job if that's what you desire. Now, if you say, Derrick, I love my job and it don't bother me, you keep your job. Right. We teach people that love their job. How do you balance the both? Yeah. Boy, if you anything like me back in 2018-ish, when I said, see y'all later, I'll never come back here. Actually, I do, but it's to go back now to pick up checks. So how cool is it that I resigned from a place to where now they go and put checks in my hand that used to take me 2 weeks to make? I pick up an $850 check per person now, whereas it took me 2 weeks to make that $850. 8 hours a day. And that's what I want to get y'all away from. So let me know if I'm in the right room. Put a number 3 in the chat if what I just said fits you and your family. Right. You think it's more to life than you just going to a job, and you rather help people and then combine real estate with it. Because now I'm getting ready to talk about those 3 points that I kind of made up earlier, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're doing this, stop. The title literally says, if you're doing this, stop. Yeah. And I see the 3s pouring in. So one more time, if what I said earlier fits you and your family, you think it's more than life than just going to your job. You always dream to get into real estate and you want to help people. You want a ministry. You just didn't know it was called a ministry, because the Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us. Right. God was just genius enough to allow us to put real estate in it so that you can create generational wealth for you and your family. Because I believe if you build the kingdom, all of these things that you want will be added unto you. That ain't Derrick. That's in that Bible. Yeah. And I believe in God. In fact, I'm crazy about God and I'm his favorite. I don't care what none of y'all say. He crazy about me. So you get your own relationship. But watch this. I got some points I want to make today. And I'm going to still close y'all out with those 7 keys to success. So if you are doing this, I want you to stop this right now. Number 1, some of y'all are letting fear stop you from getting into this. That is so true. God is not giving you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Now that come out so smooth. Some of y'all say it's cliche. It ain't cliche. That's Bible. So one more time, slowly. God is not giving you the spirit of fear, meaning your whole life you fear to start something that God has already put on your heart. Most of y'all that find us tell me, Derrick, I feel called to this. How can you feel called to something but be fearful to start? Now, you being a little scared, a little afraid is different from you being in fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. That's an acronym. False evidence appearing real. It ain't real. And it'll stop you. That's the devil trying to snatch it away from you. And the devil is a liar. So let's not let fear stop your dream. Watch this, because Jermaine may like this one, Shay. Fear has kept more people broke than the lack of opportunity ever have. Whoa. One more time. Fear has kept more people in the world broke than the lack of opportunity ever has.
Yeah.
Sometimes some people say, man, just ain't no opportunities out here.
There's plenty.
There's so many opportunities, but if you found me in my channel, you probably love God, love people, and you trying to get into real estate. God has blessed you and answered your prayer. I'm your new big brother because I'm going to show you how to merge them all together. So one more time, don't let fear, which is AKA the devil, trick you out what God has already called you to.
Yeah.
Number two, and the third one is the best. Number two is if you are complaining about your job every day, stop it. For one, it's going to turn you into a bad employee and they're going to get rid of you before you're ready to go.
Say that one more time.
If you are tired of your job, Shay, and you complaining about it every day, you need to stop that. Stop complaining about it, especially at the job. You're going to end up losing your job before you're ready to get rid of them.
Hold on.
It turns you into a bad employee.
I got
now,
one.
I got more, but she look like she ready to jump in. Go ahead, baby.
What you rehearse, you recite. What you rehearse, you recite. So let's say I am rehearsing negativity all day. When I show up to the recital, that's exactly what I'm going to show. And when you're doing that on a consistent basis, it becomes a part of your DNA. When we speak, it says life and death. Power of life and death is in the tongue. Mm-hmm. And if we're always showing up with negativity, that's what our work looks like. That's what our input looks like. That's what everything that we are doing shows up as. And what you just said is so powerful because people don't realize that they can be a negative Nancy all day. And everything they put their hands to as they are working shows up negatively. And 9 times out of 10, without you knowing it, you are on your manager's list. Ask me how I know. I used to manage a whole bunch of negative Nancys, and I was waiting for ways to get them out because all it takes is one bad apple to spoil the whole bunch. And if you are overseeing or if you're in a group setting where you work as a team and you're constantly spewing or rehearsing negativity that's now being impregnated in everybody that you work with, your manager is looking for a way to get rid of you. So be careful what you rehearse, whether it's internally, externally coming out of your mouth, because that is how you show up and what you present. You know that saying, fake it till you make it. Sometimes you got to encourage yourself without like never before so that you can show up accordingly. Because what you don't want to do is bite the hand that is currently feeding you as you're getting ready to prepare to utilize the funds that you're getting from point A to pour into point B, which is the thing that God told you. The word says, despise not small beginnings. Despise not the small beginnings. You may not be where you want to be, but you are where God has placed you to help you to use as a springboard to get you to where He wants you to go next. And while you're in that place, you need to acquire all of the tools you can get. Most people don't realize that when you are in a role, you are there as a student. Study it. Study your management team. Study those that are above you in leadership, because those are going to be some attributes that you can take or the attributes that you don't want no parts of as you go into a place of owning your own, right? We have a lot of complaining. We do a lot of complaining when we don't own a darn thing. And then the minute we get to owning things, we're doing one of two things. We're bringing on bad habits that we saw from the manager or the team member that we experienced in ourselves, instead of saying, okay, God, you're letting me see this so I don't repeat this. So be mindful that even though you may be in a place that you're not comfortable with or you don't like, or a season of, Lord, hurry up and get me out of here. He may not be hurrying up to get you out of nowhere because he wants you to sit in that place and learn something. So that when you do start your own business, you have the fortitude to persevere, because business is not easy. And that's what people think. They see us on the mountaintops a lot of times, but they don't see when the valley experiences take place. Okay? It is not always a mountaintop. There are valley seasons that you have to persevere through, and you have to watch what comes out of this, because you can curse your situation, and God may be using that situation like he did for us. And we're going to talk a lot about that on our other channel, the 18 months of hell that we went through, but we showed up. You can go back on this channel and look for the last 18 months, and you will never be able to decide or discern what 18 months it was. Because when we showed up looking forward to the mark, pressing forth to the mark of victory that we knew was coming. But in that season, I can promise you this: God used that season to shake off and remove a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of attitudes and personalities away from where he's calling us to go.
Come on,
so
Shay.
be mindful. And I'm speaking this from our own personal experience, so that you don't curse your situation, that you show up as the best you, especially if you work with other organizations, because I can guarantee you this: you may think that organization is gone when you leave, but you never know when you might need to go back. If it's for resident recruitment, if it's for some other business opportunity, if you get a phone call to consult, there are always going to be opportunities. And it also depends on how you exit. So you've got to be mindful that you've got to exit right. So show up right and exit right. You're not doing it for man, you're doing it unto God. So if you show up with a rotten attitude every day, you're telling God that you could care less about the provisions that he set aside for you to make sure that your rent is paid or your mortgage is paid. You're telling God, I could care less. I'm going to show up with my attitude, and that's exactly who I'm going to be, and they're going to have to deal with it. Pray, fast, do something to get that out of you. Because I can guarantee you, if you step into the business arena with that attitude, nobody will do business with you, because you are your brand. And if they remember you and recall you from back then, they're going to say, ooh, that lady was so, ugh. And then she started her own chicken place. I don't want her chicken. Her chicken might be, I don't know what she's speaking over that chicken. I don't want that in me. So be mindful of what you do. I done took over your whole situation. Amen.
Hey, Tia, that's one of those times where you just let it breathe. And if y'all know me a little bit, y'all know me and Shay cut off each other a lot when we talking, because we got a lot to say in a short amount of time. Notice, Tia Johnson, I didn't open my mouth just then. Shay was cooking just then. Put a number 7 in the chat if you felt everything Shay was just saying so much that I didn't even speak. And y'all know my big mouth. Put a 7 in the chat right now of what Shay said made sense.
And the reason why I can speak so passionately about that is because y'all are going to hear a lot about how when we leave certain places, you've got to leave right. There was, and I'll share this, and Derrick, we can move on. Had I not left my last place of employment, it could have caused you your life.
Yes, it could. Yep.
Hear what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that haphazardly.
I was already thinking that, actually.
Had I not left the place I left in a management role the right way, it could have cost my husband his life. And I mean life and death. How is that possible? I worked at a hospital.
Watch this.
I had relationships with the top surgeons in that hospital. When we didn't know what was wrong. And I picked up the phone.
Felt like I was having a baby, y'all, and I have no clue what that feel like, but that's the only way I can explain it. Something was trying to burst out of me.
Yeah.
Shay, finish.
When I picked up the phone, I heard a familiar voice. I don't even remember dialing the number, y'all. And I said, hey, to the person. They was like, Shay, your name came up. You're still in here as manager of such and such. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah, everything's okay. She picked the phone it didn't even ring on my end. And she said, what's going on, Shay? And I said, I'm on my way. I'm bringing my husband who's on call. She told me who was on call. I said, is it that person's office or is it that individual? She said, no, it's that individual. She said, do you need me to call him? I said, yes. I said, actually, no, I'll call him. So I shot him a text instead of called. I said, on my way to the hospital, my husband's not doing well. He called me. Hear me. Called me and said, go straight to the emergency room. They'll be waiting for you. I pulled up to the emergency room, and without a shadow of a doubt, security was there. A wheelchair was there. And they had Derrick out of the car before, it felt like before my foot even touched the brake pedal.
Y'all ever watch those movies where like they're driving people to the doctor, especially like high profile people, and they rush that person in the doctor and they skip everybody? That was me, y'all. If you've ever been to the emergency room, put a 0 in the chat. I want to give you a frame of mind of this. If you've ever been to the emergency room, put a 0 in the chat. I don't care what's wrong with you unless you've been shot. You got to go through a process. But because of relationship, the top surgeon and his team was already downstairs waiting on me, Miss Mia. So when Shay just told you 3 minutes ago, it could have cost me my life. EPH Consulting from Carolina. Because of Shay and who she was and the way she left that job the right way.
And the way I showed up every day.
God used that doctor who's now a part of my medical team, and luckily I'm as healthy as a horse now. But that incident, with which I'm still gonna show y'all everything on that other channel. And if YouTube don't block it, I'm gonna show y'all the gory stuff, the surgery, me cut open. I'm showing it all. Back to Shay's story, but because of the relationship, y'all, I skipped the line. People was, and God forgive me, but people was in that waiting room waiting. When we pulled up, I'm going to use the term, they dragged me out the car. They did it and wheeled me right through and put me in service, and boom, 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 boom. Yeah. In less than 1 day, I was in surgery. Who does that happen for? High profile people, famous people, your favorite single or rapper. But because of relationship,
you got to,
guys, I could have been dead actually.
And I'm being honest, like we're not stretching it at all.
And we're gonna share
and
it
was to the point, and I want to say this. It was to the point that literally the emergency room is like a little, like a circular bay, and parking is like literally on the other side.
You ever been to Dr. Phillips Hospital in Orlando, Florida? I ain't afraid to say it. My favorite place.
Yeah.
If I need them.
Yeah. So just like honestly, and by the time I got out of the vehicle to get into the emergency room, he was already IV'd. They were getting ready to take him to CT. And I was like, where's my person? He never showed up. He didn't come down. He waited for Derrick in CT. He was in the CT scanning room waiting.
And what's crazy, y'all, watch this. This wasn't some lingering illness. Just like I'm doing fine right now. I'm singing, I'm dancing, talking to y'all. Tomorrow, and guys, it's the only way I can explain it. So forgive me,
it was completely,
for people that went through birth. Y'all, it felt like something was trying to burst out of me. My stomach, my bottom, everything.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We found out that intestine burst.
He had a ruptured intestine.
Out the blue. Nothing caused it in terms of, well, this happened and this happened. Monday, I'm fine. Tuesday, I was fine for my life, y'all. Yep. When they put me in that thing, they said, Derrick, you going to surgery today. I say, surgery for what? What's wrong with me? Guys, I was in so much pain, I couldn't even speak. I don't want to get so crazy.
Right, don't call it that, but it's how
they brought it out to tell you guys about, again, the way that she left that. What if she would have cussed out everybody and flipped over tables?
And let me show you how
people wouldn't have cared who I was coming to that hospital.
But let me show you something. But let me show you something that was also powerful.
That's powerful, man.
As Derrick was in the hospital, his mom and I was, and this is just after COVID restrictions, but his mom and I went for breakfast, and I sat in the. And I had been gone from the hospital, what, a year and a half, 2 years? 2 years. We're sitting at breakfast, and in walks the president of the hospital. And he says, Shay, why are you here? And I looked at him, he said, who's here? I said, my husband. He said, I'm letting my assistant know that you're here. If there's any problems, come straight to the administration office. Who's the doctor? I told him, who's the doctor? He said, if you need anything, you come to my office. I said, yes, sir. My old CFO walked in. And he's so funny.
Y'all, they changed
He
my
said-
room. And, y'all, I had the best room in the hospital. I had my own staff. Y'all, they treated me like a celebrity and not being funny, not joking. And guys, I was in the most pain of my life. I went through 2 surgeries. Healthy as a horse today, but went through 2 surgeries. I had my own room, my own suite, my own staff. My food was different. And lucky for me, that was during COVID when they had just released the thing to where people can visit family, or else I would have been in there by myself. All of that came from the goodness of God and relationship, and leaving the right way.
And I'll just say this, like the amount of favor, if I think hard enough, it'll make me emotional. Your mom sat at that table and she said, I never really knew what you did here, but apparently it was important enough for the president of this hospital to come in here, and he saw us there a few times. We never paid for anything for me and your mama to eat. Everything that we needed to be comfortable while you were being cared for, without a question, we had. And that is why I say, and I can share story for story, guys. It was hell.
We're going to share a lot of that.
My last year of work.
Hold it, Shay. Because we ain't going to skip the part about how I ran up a bill for about $480,000. And the insurance company acting crazy, not Tia. Miss Leia, don't you know when I ran up about $480,000? Miss Horton, the insurance company acting like they don't know what's going on now. They got amnesia now. Dr. B, my surgeon, who's now a great friend of mine, went to bat for me, my whole team, and writing letters and all that, and got that bill wiped out.
The hospital actually sued. Hold on, wait now. The hospital sued. We don't want to talk about this again. But this goes back to saying, do what you are supposed to do in the place that you are placed in for this moment. You don't know why you are there until it happens. And when it happens, you'll be able to say, to God be the glory. Because I can guarantee you, y'all don't know the hell I went through for the last year and a half of that job. For people that see me today, this is the heaviest in weight I have ever been. Okay, I am 5'4" and about 150 pounds. When I worked at that job, I was 5'4" and 115 pounds. I was floating between 115 and 125. That's how much weight, how much stress, how much anxiety, how much stuff I dealt with on a regular basis, but I showed up. So be mindful of where God has you placed, because when it comes to running a business, you don't have that safety net of a paycheck. Okay, so just know that. And these same places that we're talking about, that surgeon is one of my biggest donors to my nonprofit.
He's a part of the board.
Hear that? He sits on my board. Hear that? He connects me where I need to be connected. Okay, there are certain things and certain you don't know when you go back. Come on, guys. So do well with what you have now, because I'm telling you, that same hospital we go back to and speak to social workers, case managers, discharge planners. We do all of that because the door was left open. So don't despise your small beginnings. All right, I done took over enough of your show. That's good enough.
One more time, y'all. I'm going to sit in silence for 10 seconds, and I'm going to just let that breathe. We used to be on Clubhouse, and there was things where people say something so popular and say, hey, guys, can we let that breathe? Can I get a 10-second countdown right now, Tia Johnson? That was powerful, guys. I was in the middle of something, and when Shay jumped in with that, and you can see the comment, Shay.
Yeah.
And that story comes from such a real place, y'all. Like Shay said, if we talk about that long enough, it'll make us emotional. I'm supposed to be dead, y'all. Like if the devil had his way, I'm not supposed to be here today. Them people, they filmed a team of people that said, Derrick, all of what you was going through, all that stuff we found in your abdomen, you supposed to be dead, bro.
They told me had I waited.
God.
They told me had I waited.
When I woke up, Antonia, they telling me that they was playing worship music during my service. Excuse me, surgery. Surgery. Where they do that at? Any of y'all been through a surgery and they was playing worship music and they played it back to you after the surgery to prove they did it? That was powerful, y'all. Jermaine, them people had my back. I knew Shay would. But the way God lined them other people up, they was like, Shay, if this guy your husband, he our family too. And most of them kind of knew me because they heard about me through Shay. But now the relationship has come now, especially with the surgeon, Dr. B. Oh, that's my guy. We fight over the tab when we take each other to dinner.
We need to do that too. We got to call them. We need a date night.
Like, we'll just be seated. And I say, hey, y'all, I got to use the bathroom. I'm going to go find the waitress to give them my card. I say, okay, what we order here, put it on this card. And don't let that doctor give you any money tonight. We fight over that. Guys, I used to dream of days like that where I'm fighting over the pay bill.
Over the tab.
I've been poor my whole life mostly until God gave me this. And now we fight over the bill with certain people that we built relationship with. I'm done with that because Shay, we're going to go way over time. Jermaine and Tia not going to forgive me. And I'm going to be in trouble. Katara may give us grace, but Jermaine and Tia going to say.
So I'm going to say this. Today. So let me say this. The title of today's live is, if you're doing this, stop. Stop cursing your current situation. Whether it's a job, whether it's relationships, whatever it can be, just stop cursing those things. If you take them up to the Lord in prayer, right? Ask him to reveal, why are you enduring these times, so that you can learn from it. And this is something that I had to learn, because I was somebody, Derrick could tell you, I'll speak real quick. And Derrick be like, stop. He'll even pinch my lips. Derrick was famous for that. But the reason is because he knew the power of what you prophesy, what you self-proclaim. And so just be mindful. Don't curse your situation. And that can sound so cliche, but find the silver lining. Because every obstacle that I was facing in that job was, guess what? Training ground to help me navigate every obstacle, the lawsuits, all of the things that the naysayers, making sure that we're keeping things compliant, making sure that we're holding the accountability to our trademark, like all of those issues, all of those things that I thought was this weight that I had to carry, was all preparation for where I am today. And I could have spoke so ill of that situation and flipped it the bird and said, to heck with this, I ain't doing a darn thing, and walked out the door. But you've got to reassess, reevaluate, and get understanding for what you're walking through. Get understanding for the things that you're walking through. Derrick?
Okay. And then my last point, I think it's the last one here before I go into those 7 steps. Something that I also want you guys to stop doing, and don't raise your hand, don't put no numbers in the chat, because this is going to be a lot of y'all. And I don't want you to put your business in the street, as we call it. But some of you guys are waiting for the perfect time. And there is no perfect time to get into this.
It sure ain't.
Right? And there's no perfect time to get into nothing that God has truly called you to. You just got to do it.
Got to move.
And for you guys that are in this healthcare industry, especially a lot of my nurses that work these 12-hour shifts, you're tired. And I know it. You frustrated. But you also get 3 days off a week. Some of y'all get 4 days off. So we got to build this dream that one day we can separate from it.
Yeah.
So one more time, and very simple, and I'm going to leave it like that. I ain't got a bunch of preaching but behind that, because it's self-explanatory. There is no perfect time to start. Don't be like me, dummy me, was a social worker for 9 years before I said, you know what? Let me try this. Guys, I wonder where my life would be if I would have started before. Now, half of that is I believe I kind of wasn't ready. I grew up a lot when certain things happened to me in life through family and other stuff.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm going to just call it like this. For such a time as this, today is the day we all get started. So whether you feel like you behind or not, today is the day that you change the trajectory of your family.
Correct.
And your finances all together, because you're going to now make a decision to get into something that, again, you said that you felt called to. So again, congratulations, man. I'm y'all new big brother. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Put in the chat if you guys are enjoying this room today. I'm going to take a really quick break, and then I'm going to come back and leave you guys with 7 steps to finish 2026 strong. And we only in the first quarter.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Most people don't fail because they're broke. They fail because they're not in the right room. The ILF Academy is not another Facebook group. It's the cheapest and most affordable access point to learning the independent living facility model. In fact, my masterclass that I taught, it was over 3 hours and 58 minutes. I put that inside of this $5 group. And if you know anything about me, guys, only my one-on-one people get that kind of coaching. But I'm giving it to you all because I want no excuses this year that you didn't know how to get started. So the ILF Academy Elite is only $5, and I'm going to put the link below. We'll see you there.
Did what we did, how we purchased the ILF and all that good stuff. So you don't want to miss it. We're back.
I'll say we are back. We are back. So I'm going to pull up some notes. I probably have to take this phone here. TikTok people, you guys come over to
You want mine?
no, because it's in my thing, I think. TikTok, y'all come over to YouTube at Forston Consultants. I want to pull up some notes real quick. I want to leave y'all with something. I think this is something I'm gonna do at the beginning of the year. I did it last year and it went really well. I even posted it last night on my page, and I also posted it in the private group. So let me see if I can find it. Let me go to my page. Actually, I can find it probably easier there. So these are 7 steps, guys, that I want to share with you all and just give you something to think about. And if Shay feel, like she feels she got to hop in, I want Shay to hop in too, because what Shay doing today is she's cooking, and I don't want to stop it. So Shay has not seen these notes probably since last year.
Yeah.
So Shay, anything that you hear that you want to piggyback on, you jump right into it. So I got it right here.
Sorry.
So here's my 7 lessons for 2026. And this is inspired by the story Noah's Ark in the Bible. Okay. And as I always tell people, I'm no pastor, I'm no priest, I'm no bishop, but I do love God. I love people, and we do love real estate. And we merge it all together to call it our ministry, which are independent living facilities. So 7 lessons for 2026.
Okay.
Lesson number 1, don't miss the boat. So if you know the story of Noah's Ark, we don't want to miss that boat, right? Stay alert and prepare for opportunities in life. Don't procrastinate or ignore important opportunities. They may never come again. So we live by this thing that says procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. So if you write in notes, write that down. And I know I speak fast, so you can say ouch or amen. But procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time to start this program.
Yeah.
So again, step number 1, easy. Don't miss the boat. Step number 2, plan ahead. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark.
I love that.
Plan ahead, y'all.
Yeah.
People thought Noah was crazy when he said God told him to build an ark, and they never seen rain ever. That's like when you tell your friends, I'm finna start a housing program. Girl, how you know that's gonna work?
They ain't never seen rain.
It's the same thing. They never seen rain. And it must be blind because homeless people are all over your city. So one more time, it wasn't raining when Noah talked about building that ark.
Come on.
Preparation is key. Success often depends on making plans before the challenge arises. Think ahead and act wisely. Proactive, not reactive. Shay, if you want to hop in, I see you over there boiling. Jump in on anything you want.
Right.
I'm
gonna just say this: write the vision, make it plain, that he that read it can run with it. And that's literally what you're doing, right? You may want to start a business today. You may not be financially available or ready to do so, but you can start writing the vision. You can start creating your processes and policies. You can start doing the research that's necessary. You can start doing all of these things. You're preparing for the rain. Prepare for the rain.
Don't maybe start singing it, y'all.
Don't do that.
I love to sing, but I can't. But I love to sing. Prepare for the rain. Right? check this out. Now, here go one, and I'm gonna be honest, because if I wasn't honest, I'd be a liar.
Yeah.
Watch this, y'all, and I'm gonna speak this over all of y'all. Ready? Number 3, stay fit. Noah was older in life. You're never too old to get started. Some of y'all don't know this, but Noah was an old dude. Some of them called him he was a drunker. He drunk. He was drunk a lot. He drank. However you want to say it. He was an older dude. I just want to say stay fit because you never know when the opportunity gonna come.
Yeah.
When you're 60 years old, somebody may ask you to do something really big and important. Take care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually, no matter your age.
Yeah.
Watch me be honest. Your brother, me, fried chicken last night at 11:30 at night.
And we both indulged.
We can't be doing that. Dummy me went all day and kind of didn't eat because I was busy and didn't get hungry until 11:30 after my midday nap. Guys, that ain't good. But I'm just honest and I'm telling you, we can't be frying chicken at 11:30 at night. We can't be drinking soda and Kool-Aid all day with our blood sugar going through the roof. Guys, if y'all used to know me, I used to be a big dude. I lost a lot of weight due to that surgery, but also changing my lifestyle. Went to the doctor one day and my A1C, because I ain't afraid to say it, was a 10.6. That is crazy. Now it's way below the 5. Excuse me, below a 6. But guys, we can't ask God to bless our life and we don't stay healthy enough to enjoy it.
And just also tell them this, and that's without medication. Just so you know.
Yeah,
that's
without
medication.
I just went cold turkey because I love soda. Not so much now.
Right.
Drunk Kool-Aid every day, all day with all that sugar in it. 2.5 cups of two cups of sugar per gallon of Kool-Aid. That's
crazy.
That is stupid. I didn't know that. So let me be an inspiration. Let's drink more water. Let's take the stairs more often. And let's go for a 15-minute walk 3 times a week, maybe. Now, y'all don't know this, but me and Shaden got a little lazy on that too. And we starting that back this week.
We have to.
So I'm just also being some people just only beat you up and preach to you. I'm gonna tell you, I fried chicken last night at 11:30. It was good, y'all.
It was
real good. Because I can fry some chicken. But that ain't how you do that. But my A1C and my health and my weight now are real good compared to what it was. So let's stay fit, and you're never too old. So I ain't gonna beat y'all up about that. Take the stairs and quit that Kool-Aid and soda. We got to drink some more water, y'all, because y'all A1C is through the roof. And watch this. Go to the doctor. Some of y'all ain't been to the doctor in 5 years. How you even know it's something wrong with you or not? Once or twice a year minimum, you should be at the doctor. Okay, I'm done with that because that just hurt somebody's feelings. Number 4, don't listen to critics. Keep building. Again, people thought Noah was a dummy, but he kept building.
Until.
Ignore negativity and focus on your purpose. Remember, when God spoke to you, it wasn't a conference call. He was only talking to you. Faith and perseverance can carry you through when others doubt you. Remember, when people don't understand, they criticize. People don't understand your mission, so they're going to talk crazy. Got something on that, Shay?
And sometimes you may not understand your mission. So you don't criticize. So it goes back to what I just said. Don't curse your situation or your circumstances. It's a learning opportunity to help you prepare for where you are going next. And a lot of times we shut off our minds to, and we blame the devil on a lot. We blame the devil for way too much. If you listen to way too much credit, if you don't realize that nothing can pass through the sovereign hands of the Lord, then you've got to reassess how you think of things.
Meaning
right?
Nothing happens without going through the.
Nothing can happen to you without God saying, have you tried my servant Job? Okay? My servant Job can get through this one. I know for a fact you can do whatever you want to him, but you can't take his life.
If you think you're going through a tough time, read the book of Job. Do yourself a favor. If you think life is tough on you right now,
read the book of Job.
You should read the book of Job.
Don't just read it, study it.
And I'll admit too, right? Here's a cheat code. If life is great right now, read the book of Job. Because watch what I did again, being honest, I didn't read the book of Job until I was going through something. That's kind of not good. I'm just being honest though.
Helps you prepare.
What if you're in your best season of your life right now? I would still read the book of Job to find out, because also one of my mentors said that there's a season for everything. Season for you to be up and a season for you to be down at times. So even if you're in your greatest season, it's a season. And we got to prepare and plan like I spoke about earlier. Oh, I can stay there for a second, but I'm
Keep
not.
it moving. Go. I got you.
Watch this. Number 5 says, build your future on high ground. Create a strong foundation for your life, your ILF, rooted in good coaching and in faith in God. So what I call by building on high ground, that's good coaching and keeping God first. Doing this on your own is not the route to this, y'all. Every one of y'all should visit forstonconsultants.com and see where you can fit into our coaching. If you're real smart, you come to Orlando March the 28th and join us live. And if you're real smart, you get the VIP ticket, because after the coaching, you're coming to the ILF that Shay runs her women's facility out of. Yeah. And she bought that property. We ain't going to even take you to a rental. We're going to take it to the one we bought.
I'd rather you see the one we purchased.
Makes sense, everybody? Yeah. So build it on high ground, get yourself some good coaching, and always keep God first. And if you would allow me and Shay, I want to be your coach. But if it ain't me, find somebody that's been through something, know what they're doing, and experience everything from lawsuits, death, the good, and the bad. Guys, I've been through it all. The good, the celebratory, and the bad stuff too. Yeah. So you want a well-rounded coach is what I'm saying. The last 2 guys are probably my favorite. So if you've been sleeping or nodding out or not taking notes, you should probably write these 2 down. These are my favorite out of the 7 keys to life. And I'm going to read these slow, Tia. Watch this, Rhonda. Speed isn't always an advantage. The snail, the sloth, and the tortoise, who are slow animals, were all on the same boat with Noah as the deer, the gazelle, and the cheetah.
Goodbye.
Patience and persistence can be just as important as speed.
I'm leaving.
Ooh, now Tia don't give me no credit for that one.
I'm done.
Now Rhonda and Mia may say, Derrick, that's powerful. Jermaine may even say that's powerful. Derrick, Tia ain't gonna give me no credit for that one, Shay. Oh, Tia, where you at, Tia?
You got me itching my head now.
The nail.
The snail. You said the nail.
The snail. When Noah got that boat together, they was all on the boat together. Oh my goodness, somebody gonna miss that, because you gonna miss that the cheetah and the gazelle are real fast. The snail and the sloth are slow. But boy, they was on the boat together. Woo! Remember number 1 said, don't miss the boat? Somehow the sloth heard that. The nail heard that.
The nail. Why you keep calling it a nail?
I want him to be a nail for some reason. Tio, does that make sense to you?
But let me show you something though. That you want to hear something powerful about this? Listen. So check this out, right? How can I, Lord, give me
Katara, did you catch that?
But check this though. In order for them to make it on time, God had to reveal it to them sooner than later.
Come on, Shay.
Right? Because God knew the timing of the sloth, the snail, and the turtle to get them to where they needed to be for such a time as that.
So in other words, you're not late. You right.
Ooh, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good.
So some of y'all, let me give you some advice right now. Don't beat up on yourself so bad. You probably right where you need to be. God's timing is everything. That's why I told y'all number 6 and 7, Rhonda, was my favorite.
I love it.
I'm going to read it again because somebody going to miss it. Somebody going to need it on the replay. Speed isn't always an advantage. The snail, the sloth, and the tortoise, we all know the story about the tortoise and the hare, were on the same boat with the deer, the gazelle, and the cheetahs. Patience and persistence, Lord have mercy, can be just as important as speed. And at the bottom, I just put move at the speed of instruction. Because your instruction may look a little slower than T. Sims. Yeah. It may look a little slower than Katara Johnson. Maybe you only get the DIY like Jermaine, but you look like a cheetah still because he moved at the speed of instruction.
Whoa.
Jermaine's got on a slow uniform disguised as a cheetah. How smart is that? Making people think he's slow at it. Ooh, Jermaine didn't catch that. I'm gone, y'all. One more and I'm out of here. Because remember, here go my favorite one. Oh, so Katara, are you listening? I only need 5 people to hear this. Katara, Tia, Antonia from Carolina, are you listening for this last one? Shay, you're gonna love this because you probably forgot this one. Hold on, let me see who else is here. Miss Rhonda Yvette, are you listening? I put your whole name in there, Rhonda. Rhonda Yvette. Miss Mia, are you still here, Mia?
Everybody's here. They waiting for you.
Amelia Horton, are you still here? Because here go my favorite one. Watch this, y'all. Shay may jump out of her chair, y'all, and start running.
Because I haven't seen the note.
Y'all watch this. Watch this, y'all. Remember, the Ark was built by amateurs. The Titanic that sunk was built by professionals.
You know what?
God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the call. I'm dropping.
Derrick,
That's what Katara Johnson forgot.
oh my God.
Katara, you saw the movie The Titanic. Those
my
professional
God.
people that went to school to build that boat. If you read your Bible, Noah and his whole family and everybody around him were amateurs. They just heard from God. They didn't have the skill to build no boat. Some of y'all don't have the skill to build the iron. And Tia, I know I'm yelling right now, Tia, because Tia will tell me to calm down. I know you don't have the skill set, nurse, LP, and CNA. I know you don't know how to do it, but guess why you're here today? God bumped me and you together. Because to remind you, amateurs built Noah's Ark, and it lasted and saved everybody that got on it, that didn't miss the boat. But the Titanic that they spent millions on, did all this research, was built by professionals, it sunk to the bottom of the ocean. You can take a trip right now and go fishing out there, and they'll show you where it sunk at. Now I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. Put a number 8 in the chat if that top 7 made sense to you. And with the last 2 being my favorite, Shay, amateurs built the Titanic and it failed.
Keep saying that all day. And I'm just gonna say
amateurs.
Like
no one didn't know nothing about no boat. His family helped him. If you read the story, his family, the village around him pitched in. The people that thought he was crazy, which was kind of just his family. See, which means everybody ain't gonna believe in your vision. Because I keep telling you, when God called you, it wasn't a conference call. So the other people didn't hear it. They think you crazy. But if you love God and love people and love real estate, March the 28th, and if you visit ilfconsulting.org, you think this YouTube channel good. Wait till you see us in person. And then in 10 of y'all, because remember, I'm only allowing 30 people at the whole event. 10 of the VIP people that purchased that ticket are going to Shay's ILF the touring and to keep learning and growing together. And guys, normally that would cost y'all $1,000 a ticket. I made this so stupid low that you should feel guilty if you don't come. Guys, the regular ticket is only $197. If you want to see it afterwards, it's only $297.
No.
So last time, ilfconsulting.org, and we'll see you guys there. Tia said, Margaret, come get your child. But Tia, at least you can tell that I ain't acting up today. Tia, that was some real stuff, if you will admit it, Tia. That 6 and 7 was powerful. Because for me, if nothing else does it, number 6 and 7 should change our whole perspective on how you think about this.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and I'm done. It's some areas of your life, and I'm speaking for me because that just ministered to it ministered to me. It's some things that you're gonna have to walk through in life that you will never understand the why behind. And you've got to realize that God called you and qualified you to take that journey. And as you walk through that journey, be mindful of who you converse with. Be mindful of who you share the details with. Be mindful of how you observe the situation. And Derrick, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And sometimes you got to do some things in faith and remind God of his promise to you. Just honestly, guys. Wow.
Good today, man. Sometimes when I talk like this, y'all, and a lot of it was Shay said first, because that started it. I bless myself today. I am happy right now. I am so happy. And also, guys,
it's not happy.
Can I say
joy.
Thank you?
It's the joy of the Lord.
Joy.
Yeah.
Can I also just say thank you to everybody that do entrust us to coach y'all?
Yeah.
Because I got one of the best jobs in America. meaning I get a front row seat to see people's lives
Other
change
people's
right before
success.
me.
Yeah.
I get to see people that come to me with no knowledge of what this is and see them take over their whole city when it comes to housing.
Yeah.
And the cool part about it, I don't want the credit. The credit go to God first, then you. And you can throw me in it after that, but that's not important that you give me the credit.
Because
God
gets
the credit and you did the work. Forget about me. You just followed instruction. That's why I love that quote we live by. Move at the speed of instruction or move at the speed of revelation. And for most days, like, man, boy, I get that today. I understand what he said. Well, let's move on it. Because Shay said and taught me that information without implementation is stagnation. Stagnant water stinks. You ever seen a body of water that just sits still and is not flowing? I'm studying this whole sermon from Shay.
It's called a pond.
And it's just like nothing's flowing. It's green, algae, it's murky.
Yeah.
Still working. It stank because it's not flowing. Shay said we all should be flowing rivers of water. And one of the ways that we can flow and show God's goodness is through this housing program. Because somebody's sleeping behind a dumpster tonight. Somebody's going to sleep outside tonight because you ain't got started yet. And that should bring a little bit of guilt to you if God has called you to this.
Yeah.
But we're going to call today at such a time as this is where today is day one for a lot of y'all. People that are already in it,
build the ark.
You just continue building on high ground.
Build the ark.
But everybody else, I would focus on them first 7 things I told y'all today. Like, and a lot of y'all are saying, boy, this is a rewatch. Thank you, because I've never seen that before in the chat. That means that this was so good. You got, because a lot of times my pastor say, y'all, you may want to go back and watch this one again because it'd be so meaty.
Yeah.
And this is probably one of the ones you don't need to hear once.
This
I would share this with
this should be the replay for the rest of the week. Like this
Mara's in here, so tell her. Like,
this probably needs to be the replay at least twice for the upcoming week.
So
because it's encouraging. And again, just be mindful, guys, that everything that we walk through, we are walking through it for purpose, for growth, to help build us, for us to see God's hand in it. So I implore each and every one of you, whatever you're walking through, whether it's a mountaintop or a valley, see God in it. See his superiority in it. See his majesty in it. And see how you can even find, and this is something I was actually talking to our pastor about the other day. And I said, a lot of times people don't look at the word. The Bible's not going to be rewritten, even though we are an extension of God's word, right? But a lot of times we ourselves don't know how to go back to the word and see our situation in parallel to someone that has already walked through this in the word. Even though the timing may be different, but the situations very easily match up. For the barren woman, it's the story of Rachel. It's Sarah. It's the story of Rachel. It's so many different stories in the word. You can go back and look at that. For the man that loses it all, it's the story of Job. How do you go back and look at Job's story and parallel it to your life? So in order to really kind of see God's hand moving, whether you're in a mountaintop or a valley season, go back to the word, right? And see how it lines up and see how God can move in that situation, and remind God of his promises, because he's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So that's why you've got to do certain things, and you've got to be well equipped with the instruction for life, which is the Bible, and let that be your compass. Use that as your parallel. Find out what story or what situation of a story is parallel or reflects your current situation, and see how God shows up. And if you're expecting God to show up in that same way for yourself, remind God of the promise. Remind God of his word, because you're living this situation. And if he did it for that individual, he can do it for you. So just be mindful of that. And I like I said, I was telling our pastor about this, Derrick, and I said, a lot of people don't know how to do that. And they don't cross-reference the true living word, which is the word of God, to your life being an epistle of God and reflecting the same thing. God, there is nothing new under the sun. Yes, technology may have advanced. All of these different things have advanced, but it has advanced from the beginning of time to where we are today, until wherever we're going. So you've got to be mindful that God is still in it. So you've got to still, if even though the situations, the surroundings, we're not walking from here to Tampa or here to Texas as they had to traverse the land to get to the destination. But you can still look at the parallels in the stories and see how you can remind God of his word, remind God of the victory that was won in those situations and circumstances, and place them and affix them to your circumstance and your situation. I'm done.
Guys, we're going to take one more commercial break. We're going to come back and check on you guys real quick. We're going to bless y'all out of here, and you guys are going to enjoy your Saturday. We'll be right back.
Most people don't fail because they're broke. They fail because they're not in the right room. The ILF Academy is not another Facebook group. It's the cheapest and most affordable access point to learning the independent living facility model. In fact, my masterclass that I taught, it was over 3 hours and 58 minutes. I put that inside of this $5 group. And if you know anything about me, guys, only my one-on-one people get that kind of coaching. But I'm giving it to you all because I want no excuses this year that you didn't know how to get started. So the ILF Academy Elite is only $5, and I'm going to put the link below. We'll see you there.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, man, thank y'all so much for joining us today. You guys could have been anywhere, but y'all chose to be here with us, and we super appreciate that. So, I think that's it for us. Make sure that you guys again visit ilfconsulting.org if you're considering coming into Orlando, Florida, and definitely get one of those VIP tickets if you want to see it. Remember, it's only 10 of those.
I think it's only 6 left.
5 or 6, something like that. I think it's 5, but
one of the 2.
Anyway. Make sure you get one of those VIP tickets if you want to see it. Now, if you're not interested in seeing it and you think my coaching is just good enough, you just come and get a general ticket for only $197. And what we're also telling other people, make it a vacation. It is hot in Florida. So if you're coming from anywhere else, like outside of Florida,
go to the beach.
Make it a vacation. Come enjoy yourself, right? I just thought of something. Not this event, but the next one. I just thought of this, and it's genius. You and I hold annual year passes at SeaWorld. The next live event we do in Orlando, the first couple that purchases a VIP ticket, they come to us with also the SeaWorld. And all we're going to talk about at SeaWorld is ILFs.
We're going to have fun.
We're going to be walking, eating ice cream, watching Shamu, enjoying the dolphins,
just
and talking about ILFs.
Just know y'all going to do the roller coasters by your darn self.
No, we don't ride no roller coasters.
We'll hold your purse.
All we do is eat. We don't get on nothing fast. We love the shows. Now, if you want to watch a show and eat some food, that's me and Shay.
Come on,
if you want a roller coaster, we'll hold your purse
and take pictures.
Sound good, Shay?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, so I like that because we have it and we can bring people. Let
me see, and we may even
do a couple.
We may even add that,
and they can be business partners, and we'll bring them to SeaWorld. Oh, and we must sit in the splash zone. So we're going to get wet because it's hot in Florida and we want to get wet.
Yeah.
So when we go to the Shamu show, we in the first 3 seats. All right. Let me check the chat real quick to make sure that we didn't miss anything. And then I'm out of here.
We love y'all. I just got a really interesting text, Derrick. I'll tell you offline. Actually fun because we actually talked about this and drove by this place yesterday and they text today.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm checking the chat real quick. I don't see anything that we did not address. Oh, and anybody that's new to us, don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube. My team puts content on here 7 days a week at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then Saturdays at 10 a.m. So join us 7 days a week. Also follow me at Derrick Forston on Facebook. I want to be your big brother, but I also want you to, see what we're posting, right?
Yeah.
See what I'm sharing so that you can get in it. And if you know a nurse, LPN, or a CNA who's tired of these 12-hour shifts and want to do something bigger and better, and it don't take you 12 or 8 hours a day to do it. Yeah. Imagine working 2 or 3 hours a day, and some days not at all. I don't go to my ILF every day. And I'll get into that later, but that's why we got other businesses. Shay said that. You do this the right way, you can go do something else. Why this still makes money and help people. So follow Shay also at the Angela Denise Foundation. That's her nonprofit. Want you guys to see what she's doing over there. And by all means, if you need a good CRM system to run this whole business, we use Digital Flow Solutions.
Or any business. It doesn't just have to be
Flow Solutions.net. And it's any industry, any business.
Correct.
Just about 90% of people that do come in get it for this. But all you techie people, any business, guys, I don't care what you do. You need a website, a phone, and a CRM. Visit again very slowly, Digital Flow Solutions.net. And then just one time before I go, I want to do this just really quickly, and I'm out of here. Let me see.
He getting ready to close, y'all.
So let me see. How many people on this screen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're missing some people.
We're missing.
So
a few
I
people.
want to just give a big shout out to my team. Shay and I are real good, right? And we great people, but we are nothing without God and these group of people. And I'm sure I got another one where everybody's on it, but we got a team of 13 people now. Let me think. Let me see if I can find.
No, Danisha's here.
FC team. Here it is. This might be the big one. Let me see. Anyway, I want to just give a personal shout out and a thank you to my team. They do an absolute lot. And I just want to shout them out for all the hard work that they do. Everybody from my executive all the way down to the bottom. But just thank you again to my team. And big shout out to Marielle, who
She's
we call
here
Mar.
today. Yeah.
She's here today. So Mar's in charge of my YouTube channel and in charge of us going live all of these days during the week. She does all of that. Guys, I am not taking, I don't even know how to turn this computer on. Mar does all of that. So thank you to Mar. Thank you to my entire team, everybody for all that you guys do. And the 3 people that's missing on this one, thank y'all too. So I just want to say that on a live open stage that I am nothing without God and the team of these people that take my vision and bring it to life. So one more time to the FC family, thank y'all so much. And Mar,
we love y'all
we
so
love
much.
you like a fat kid loves cake. We speak blessings over you, your family, and your life. And thank you, Mar, for all of the extra classes that you take even outside of your extra job to continue to make us better. So I really appreciate that. Other than that, Shay, you got anything? I'm going to pray these people out of here.
Continue to press forth. See your life in alignment with the word and just move at the speed of instruction. Move at the speed of instruction. We only have 24 hours a day, guys, and we're not guaranteed the next minute. So just be mindful of that and do what God is calling you to do. And that's all I got. Have a blessed day.
And Miss Rose, I put in the chat that you said that this is you actually, right? You're tired of these 12-hour shifts. I'm your new big brother now. So I just put in the chat, I want you to text the phrase more info, because if you're new to us, you probably have never seen our original webinar. Today, we just kind of talk like family, right? Give some game, but just kind of have some real talk. That webinar will give you more of a chronological order of what is an ILF and how can you get started.
Correct.
And depending on where you live, that you should come to Orlando to get it live. But if not, really quickly, I'm announcing. Well, I'll do it now because I did promise this. April the 7th, we are going to host a Zoom call for nurses, LPNs, CNAs, or healthcare providers. And guys, I'm so strict on this that even to get into it, you got to give a picture of your ID.
Your work ID.
So I don't want regular people in this. I only want healthcare providers. Watch this. My whole life, I've offered this to everybody and never kind of just said, only you can come. But this time, only nurses, LPNs, CNAs, or if you are in the healthcare industry. So whatever that means to you. So when you do sign up, right, it's going to be a space that says upload your ID. I want to see your badge. I want to see that you are a nurse or something in the healthcare field.
Put upload your employee ID.
I don't know how they said it, but
I'll
it's a
find
space
out,
for
yeah.
that. So let me give that prompt really quickly. If you are a nurse or you like my sister Rose, who ready to go from that job, text the word class, CLASS, to the phone number scrolling below. It is 407-326-0086. Only text that one word, class, to that number because it's going to give you the way to sign up. And I'm doing a Zoom call with only those people. So it's the ILF Masterclass Healthcare Industry Edition. So the same stuff, but only for the healthcare people. And I got a special way of how I want to teach it to them. Because I want to teach people like Rose, how do we take her skill set right now and turn it into this, and it don't take her 12 hours to do it?
Right.
Rose, you're going to think we're a genius when you find out how this works. And how you can be like me and Shay was on Friday, not at work, but enjoying each other, having lunch, filming our YouTube video for our other channel. You don't have to work this thing every day because it's not a job. It's a ministry. So I want to show you guys how not to work a job, but to start a ministry /business. Because for me, it's not business/ministry. It's ministry/business.
Correct.
That's what it is to us.
Yeah.
So other than that, now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think,
according to God's power that works in us.
Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown today. Today was a really good day. And God, I believe you spoke through Shay and I both. I pray that these people are receptive to what you said. Father God, help them move at the speed of instruction and let no devil in hell stop them from what you've already put in their heart to do. God, give us real estate that we did not build. Give us land that we did not toil in. God, that means give us everything in terms of resources that we need. Because God, you are the total source of this all. Now, God, resource us to take over our city in terms of affordable housing.
Yes.
God, the devil is under our feet today and has no place in our life or our business. And God, the same that you did for Shay and I, you would do more for these people expeditiously, 10 times fold. So, Father God, we give you glory and honor now, and we say thank you for what you're getting ready to do in the lives of these people. God, also give them favor in their city with every city official, the authorities, that everybody that handles housing, that they don't bother these people when they're trying to get started, because they are truly the answer. And God, also give them the mind of Christ and the able body to do it. Let finances not be a problem, and bless these people mightily in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
We are out of here. And I love y'all like a fat kid loves cake. We'll see y'all next time.
Hey, what's going on, family? Please make sure that you watch our webinar, which is the first step to getting started. So just text the phrase more info, MOREINFO, to the phone number 407-326-0086. Don't type it in the chat. Don't put it below. Text it to that phone number. That way you'll get that free webinar, but also it leads to a discovery call with me and my team to see how we can get you started. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is it. Show me anything else to where you can make such an impact in your community, serve God, but also make a bunch of money doing it. We don't hide that. We want to make a lot of money doing what this is so that we can extend our hand in the community and continue to be the answer to affordable housing. Text more info to 407-326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success. Let's get back to the show.